Hello again, we're back. This time we're in Hayes Town. Now, Hayes Town, another one, much like previous videos I've done of Hounslow and Felton. Some people say it's a rundown area and other people like it. Now of course Hayes Town is famous for EMI Records. It's not there anymore, but it was there for a number of years. Home of many famous bands, obviously. So we'll be taking a look at that today. We'll also be looking at the high streets, seeing if it's under threat from the giant supermarkets and the rise of online shopping. But so far what I can see is most shops are open. Another one there getting a facelift. Now Hayes Town did get a bit of a facelift. I think it was a few years ago now, 2 years ago maybe. They put a load of cycle lanes in. One of which is there. Oh, I've got a green man, I'm going to cross over. Yeah, they put some cycling infrastructure in a couple of years ago to encourage people to cycle more. It was previously pedestrianised, so you couldn't drive through the town. There was only buses, I think, that could come through. But they ripped that up and let traffic come through again and put some cycle lanes in. Now, I don't often see many people cycling on these lanes actually. In fact, there's more people walking on them than there is cycling. But nevertheless, they're there. I have used it myself. But today we're on foot. Now, looking at the high street, you've got all the main ones: Superdrug, W.H. Smith, Costa. No high street would be complete without Costa. So it does look to be thriving. Now I'm not sure if there's a north-south divide, because I do see a lot of videos popping up on YouTube where they're showing up towns up and down in the north of England where everything's boarded up. And it does seem to be a lot worse up there than it does down here, to me. So there is possibly a north-south divide. There's always more money down in London and the south east, obviously. Now, Hayes Town comes under Hillingdon Borough, which is a very large borough. It covers sort of Heathrow Airport. All the way up to sort of Pinner. I think it goes as far north as Pinner, and then down to sort of Weststrace and Uxbridge and all the sort of surrounding areas. Quite a large borough. And also it is in part of the Jubilee line, which is recently opened. So it goes from, well, it goes from Reading into sort of central London and East London actually now, which is very handy. You can get into central London from Hayes Harlington station in probably less than half an hour now, which is very handy. But what we'll do is we'll have a look through the high street. Looks like it's thriving to me. A lot of fruit and veg, pound shops, but they're in every town. But so far, not too many boarded up shops, or homeless people for that matter. Now Also, there's a few pubs in Hayes, obviously, scattered around. The Old Crown being one of the oldest ones. Always does a roaring trade. Now you've got the old and the new in Hayes Town. You've got some new developments put up there. Or I say new, they're not new now, they were new probably 10 years they've been there now. Riverside living. It's not actually the river, it's the canal, the Grand Union Canal, which comes through here. And that takes you from Slough in the west all the way into Paddington Basin. You can ride it all along on a bike or walk it. I think it's about 12 miles in total. Maybe I'll do a video of that one day if someone's interested. Not about walking it, maybe cycling it. 12 miles might be a bit much. But there is a lot of rubbish, as we can see here. So this must be where they congregate the street drinkers. Now we're going to cross over here and just walk up towards the station, have a look. Again, during the redevelopment in Hayes Town, it's got a bit of a facelift. The station, so the entrance used to be on top of the bridge. It's now sort of round the back here, you can see in the distance. So we'll go and have a look up there. First of all, we'll have a quick look down here. This is the little apartment was redeveloped a few years ago. I'm not quite sure when. Maybe we can get a picture up of what it looked like before. But it's we can't get down there for some reason. Private residential estate. But there you go. So you can go down this way. Well, that boat looks like it's tipped over. Yeah. So going that direction will take you into Paddington. And going this direction takes you to Slough. But we're not going to either of them today. So just a little walk through the station. As I say, it was recently refurbed. We've got some new builds over there as well. That used to be the entrance up here at the top of the bridge. We'll have a look. I don't know if you can still get through there. We'll have a look anyway. Probably not. No, it's closed off, I think. This used to be the entrance. Probably better around the back, actually. I feel like they've turned in the shops. Which is where these buildings are now. That used to be all the factories. They were knocked down and apartments put up in their place. So, as you can see, there's a lot of new apartments gone up right by the station. Look quite trendy as well. And then there you can see the old fascia, the station and the shops, which haven't changed much. That 24-hour minicab over there, that's been there as long as I can remember, that has. Anyway, we'll have a look round by the EMI factory. Now, I did do a walk down here about a year ago. Don't think there's been many changes. Just a bit more redevelopment. Probably where the factory was. It was an ongoing concern when I was last here. It's quite a large plot. Now, that place there, the YMCA, that used to be called the Tumbler. With the big tumbler on the top of the roof there. So you've got some luxury apartments here and a fitness centre. So obviously people are moving into these places because it's so handy for central London. I did read somewhere that people in central London were moving out to places like Slough, Hayes, West Drayton and so on, because it's so much cheaper, the rents, and you can get into central London so much quicker. So you've got the nice new apartments there, and then on this side you've got the old Victorian ones. So, and also you're going to have further up as we go the new apartments, and also parts of the old factory that they've retained. I think they've turned it into a bit of a museum, the EMI factory. Got his master's voice there, a good plot. I have been there before, so we'll have a look at that. Nice to see they've gritted the roads here as well. So, they have done quite a bit of work since I was last here. I think we were just working on these apartments there in the background, but it looks like they've all been completed. We've got a little play area for the kids and all the racking for the bikes. So, looking pretty good, it has to be said. Done material walk. There's the old building, what's left of it. Not much by the look of it. Don't think it's finished yet, whatever it is. I'm still working on it. We've got some weird looking balconies up there as well, with the brickwork like that. Honeycomb brickwork, that's called. But we'll have a look here. The venue, 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. I like the way they keep the frontage of some of them. There's quite a lot of gyms here as well. The venue now selling, so these apartments have been selling as we speak. I don't think this part was here last time I was here. It's still got references to the old record factory. So this one's called Record Walk. The old vinyl factory, I think that's the name of the museum. So, like I say, Hayes Town again does have a reputation as being a bit run down, and people say that in the comments that it's a bit run down and full of drug addicts and alcoholics and stuff. But when you come here, you have to appreciate that developers wouldn't build all these things if they didn't think they were going to get a return on investment. Now that is an old building there, I think just been kept and turned into flats. That definitely looks like the original building. Let's have a look up there. Pressing lane, so that would have been the pressing plant, I presume. We'll have a look down here. It's quite nice, I have to say, I quite like it. Now, it must have been going on for 3 or 4 years now, this. Maybe we can have a look on Google Maps and it will show us what it was before. Got an original structure there ahead as well. I'm not sure what that is. Is it just a car park? There you go, there's the record store. And there you got his master's voice, the old gramophone. I think it ends here, the development. Let's have a look down here. And there's the old railway line there running parallel. Yeah, these are original buildings that have been repurposed by the look of it. They're actually lights by the look of it, these gramophone speakers. I think I can see a light in there. Yeah, they are. Right, we'll have a look round here. Now this bit is quite new, I think. I don't remember this being new before. There's still some work going on up over here. It's still ongoing. B-Town Cafe. Now that wasn't there before. The actual car park was there, because I remember seeing the actual image on the front of the screaming 60s with their Beatles tops on. But the actual town cafe wasn't. So that's been since last I was here. Excuse me, clear my throat. So we've got the old vinyl factory. So, still ongoing. I think the image you captured there is either from a concert or when they arrived at Heathrow Airport. I wonder if any of those in the images are still around, and that would have been early 60s presumably. Shipping building. So, there seems to be a mixture of residential living and sort of business, industrial offices and such. It always was quite industrial around Hayes Town anyway. You had pressing plants and factories. You had EMI Records, EMI Engineering. It was around here. But yeah, it does seem fairly quiet though. Is that because everyone's working from home nowadays? Sort of lunchtime at the moment, you'd expect to see sort of people sitting out. I know it's very cold. It's just barely above freezing, but I'll be glad when everyone goes back to work, if they ever do. I know it's a changing world, but I don't know. It's killed the high streets. Well, it looks like the actual cafe isn't open yet. There's a property maintenance company there and a cafe. So there's businesses opening up, which is a good sign rather than closing up. Opening up is always better. We've got this one here. Got the builders on there. So we'll have a look at his master's voice. Yep, still under construction.
You're looking for the site entrance? You're looking for the site entrance or what? You're looking for the site entrance?
No, I'm not. No, I'm just walking around. I'm doing a video. Filming a video. Well, you work here, do you?
No, I don't work here. I'm a slinger. I was just coming to see if they need any slinger.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
I don't know where the site office
I don't know the site entrance there, look.
is. Yeah, but anyway.
There's no one there.
Me to go there without PPE.
Yeah.
So, assuming they have the office, or I see any one of them, just in case if they need a slinger or whatever, that's all.
What's a slinger?
Crane, the guy in charge of the crane.
Oh, the driver.
No, not the driver. The slinger is, the driver is up there. We're gonna tell him to bring the cage down, take the cage here.
That's a banksman.
Banksman, yeah. Anyway,
Banksman.
they call it slinger signaler.
Do they?
Yeah, then the banksman are like the traffic marshals.
Oh, right.
The people that stand outside telling the vehicle to start, to stop,
Yeah.
they call them banksmen.
I saw that slinger on TV in Reading the other day when he got that guy on the building was on fire.
Yeah.
I bet someone bought him a beer after that.
They use the rescue cage, innit?
Yeah, it's very good, wasn't it? That was like a film. It was like watching a film.
They tried, innit?
The way he got him out there.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Fair play, honestly.
Yeah. I'm making a little video for YouTube. I'm going to just do a film of this.
Okay.
Yeah, this was the old EMI factory. I don't know if you remember. EMI Records.
Yeah.
It was the Beatles. This is what these pictures are up here.
Okay.
So it's got a lot of history
Yeah.
going back. So I'm going to do one of our, we used to look years ago, sort of thing. But there was a guy there looking for some work, a slinger, which was, in my day was called a banksman. That's the crane, not the crane driver, but the guy that directs the equipment to be lifted up, put down, and so on. But yeah, good to see him out looking for work. I'm sure there's something for him. But there's the old vinyl factory again, looking at it from his master's voice. And there's the old Nipper, 1884. To 1895. So there you go. How are you, Nipper? So that's pretty much the tour of the new builds around here. These are the old factories you see in the distance. Old Victorian ones with the wide, long windows, sash windows in them. And so these factories here have been here for years, so it's a kind of mixture of kind of old and new, as most towns are. But when there's a train line into central London, there's always going to be a certain amount of development. But I do remember that when Canary Wharf was built in the late 80s, that lay empty for ages because the recession hit. It'd actually been virtually built and then just was stood empty for years, as I remember. But now obviously it's full up and people moving in left, right and centre. Even though, having said that, last time I was there, earlier this year, it did seem quite empty, but I think this is to do with this home working revolution that's sort of taken off. So it's just a changing world really. But like I say, developers don't move in unless they think there's going to be a turnover for them. So these are the old factories here. I'm not sure this is to do with the actual record plant. I think these were just factories, clothing factories, and the like. And there's pictures of the old pressing plant. lots of bike racks, not many bikes though. There you go, it shows you how busy it was there now. It employed a lot of local people, and that's the actual building there. Still there. Looks like that's had a bit of a facelift, painted and so on. So, walking back up to the high street, you can see all the new builds there in the distance. It's changed beyond recognition actually just in a year. It was a construction site the last time I was here, but now it's starting to properly take shape. Powerhouse Lane. I have to say, I do like the contrast there between the Victorian terraces on one side and these ultra modern apartments on the other, and then the train running down towards Slough and into central London. Blue Note Apartments. Blue Notes. Is that a record label? I'm sure it was. It rings a bell. So they've all got references to the record industry. Pressing Lane and so on. Blue Note Apartments. So we're just walking up now towards the station entrance again. I don't know if I can get through there. It looks like they're doing a bit of work. In fact, they are definitely doing a bit of work. So, putting some lights in by the look of it. Stylish place. Everything's got a reference to the record industry. But that's a good thing, because I'm a bit of a music fan myself, so anything related to it is of interest to me. But I don't think we'll be able to go down there today. The White Wall Company. You walk through here, mate, can I?
Yeah, do you mind going that way?
Yeah, I can do. I wasn't sure if it was open or not.
Yeah, it's open.
Yeah. What are you doing? Just refurb, is it?
Yeah. We are, yeah.
Probably needs it to go with all the rest of the...
Yeah, the rest of the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to look lovely.
It is.
It's going to be a dream come true.
Well, the last time I was here about a year and a half ago, it's come on a long way since then. It was kind of like the construction site, the whole area. Yeah, there was Sound of Hayes. So, a lot of history and a lot of redevelopment. So, we'll end the walk there at Hayes Harlington station. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been about a year since I was last here, and it has come on in leaps and bounds. Not all good, but definitely an improvement. And no, you asked me that earlier. He's chasing some work. Anyway, as you can see, it's coming on leaps and bounds, and it's looking good going into the 2020s. Anyway, again, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.